So,
Recording in progress.
you can make you with me. We're going to start in a few minutes. Well, a couple minutes now. So let me share this thing. Oh, hello, welcome, welcome. Hello, hello, hello. Hello, hello, hello.
Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you today?
Excellent, excellent.
Good.
So, yeah, just kind of. So once again, this is Yasser Gonzalez, Planning Commission staff. This is the first of two virtual public open houses of the Tampa Redistricting 2026. We had our first public hearing last time, late last night, because it kind of got extended. But so the next meeting will be on the 9th of March, when it's the final hearing, and they're going to take action on one of the proposed alternatives. Any questions before we start? Again, there's not really a structure here. We do have a slide that we have on deck if we need to, but again, we don't want to take anybody's time if they just have a question that they need to get answered, and then they can move with their lives. Any questions before we start? Please. Anyone else? Any questions?
No questions.
Okay, so yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, my name is Michael Randolph from West Tampa CDC. So when is the next meeting, virtual meeting?
The next working meeting, again, the meeting that you want to keep an eye on is the second and last public hearing, which is March 9th at 7:30. That'll be a Monday, March 9th at 7:30 p.m. That's the one that where action will be taken. Then, if you still have questions before then, there will be another meeting on the 23rd, like this one, on the 23rd of February, where we're going to be again answering questions. All we're doing right now is answering questions. We can go over certain slides, but it's not really structured like that. It's just an open house. If you have a question about the website that we have, any information that we have there, any information about the individual precincts that you might have a question about, that we can answer. Aside from that, it's really free form.
Well, just want to thank you for giving to me. Appreciate you.
I'm sorry.
Oh, I just wanted to thank you for giving the meeting. We really appreciate you.
Okay, no worries, no worries. So what we are. So real quick, so we're already sharing. So this are the, instead of few of us here, and I don't see you all don't seem to have a specific question. And maybe if we go through a couple of slides, maybe there will be some questions that can come up. Would that be okay?
Sounds good to me.
Sounds good.
Okay. So what's the timeline of the project? We're gonna be, going very briefly about the timeline of the project. Why do we do this right now? What population do we use? It's a big question about people. What kind of population do you use? What's the source? All that, because when you get voting precinct data, all you get are voters. So we have to, assign a population to that precinct, and there's a process for that. Then we're gonna go over the various alternatives that we have in case you haven't had a chance, and also we can update you on the feedback so far, so that way you can give you an idea of what people are liking, what people are not liking. So again, we started on October 15th, and we have been reaching stakeholders, and we have emailed thousands of voters that live in those precincts that are moving, because 95% of y'all are not going to be affected by this, because your precinct is not going to be moved. We can only move like 20 precincts out of 140 precincts, so most of y'all we're not going to see anything. So we had open houses, in person. And we are now having a couple of virtual open houses. We had our first hearing yesterday, which again, we had at least one speaker that came in, and we presented the process and also results from the online form, which if you haven't had a chance, it will be great for you to drop by the website and fill out the online form, because we will provide that information to our planning commissioners. Then by April 1st, it's all gotta be wrapped up by April 1st. So that's why we're doing it this way. But again, we started October 15th, and we reached out to all political parties, NAACP, we reached out to Hispanic Services Council, we reached out to the council members and their staff. So, everybody that we think that was interested in this topic, we reached out to. And we just spoke with, for example, with Good Trouble Tampa yesterday, Saturday. And, so again, some stakeholders have taken advantage of the opportunity and have called us to speak to them. So why are we doing this? Is because it's required by law. Every 4 years we have to. So we were here in 2022. We're here. We're here in 2022, and we were here. It's 126. So we have a question online by Ms. Everett. What's the total number of online forms completed? It's 126 we have. And again, we don't, because it's a ranking exercise, and I can go right to it if you like me to. Is we take the votes, and then we have to, if, for example, if you rank choice 1 as your first one, then we'll have to assign it a score to that, like 4 or something like that. So, and we can explain it here. So, but again, 126 just people so far. This is not a popularity contest. This is not an election. So this is just information that's going to go to the planning commissioner, and they are going to take that information and count it towards the decision they're making. But they are the ones that have the final word. So you may, the most popular reference may or may not win. Just letting everybody know. So again, 20,000 people have moved to Tampa, and that's why we're doing this. Well, it's required by law, but also we are a fast-growing area where at least 20,000 people have moved to Tampa. So it also helps that we do this. That way, one council district does not become, too unbalanced, and one council member represents, like half the city or something. If we don't do this more frequently, so that's what we're doing. So let me start meeting people here real quick. Yes, perfect. So next one, what's the population? People have a question. Is it about voters? Are we concerned about race and ethnicity when we do these decisions? We're not concerned about borders. We're not concerned about ethnicity. Our main concern and overriding concern is population. And that includes everybody from 1 to 100 and plus. So that is by the Supreme Court says that we need to count everybody. So that's what we're trying to do. Now, once we do that, we are sensitive though to certain things that are happening. Like, for example, the Council District 5 has a significant percentage, or the majority, used to be the majority African American voters in Council District 5. So we are, we try to propose alternatives that do not, diminish them if we can help it. But again, that sometimes that cannot be helped. There's some demographic changes that happen. So, we're only, we can only work with what we have. So we start with African Americans in Council District 5 at 47%. Again, those are registered voters. So, so that means that there could be 4 or 5% of people there that are not registered yet. They may register for the 2026 election, 2028 election, who knows? And, so that may be over 50%, at any time, but we're talking about registered voters. So, but again, population is the overriding concern. Any questions? So with population, we estimate what's called a range, which is the percentage difference between the most populous, which is Council District 7, that's USF and New Tampa, and the least populous, which turns out to be Council District 5. So Council District 5 will be receiving population for the most part, and Council District 7 will be shedding precincts, and we move entire voting precincts. So it's a good thing to talk about what happens to me as a voter. Like, if you want a lot of, millions of people that go to vote on the day of the voting, or go vote early, and you will go to your normal location. That's not it's not going to change. What's going to change is that when you go to vote, or when you receive your ballot by mail, is that the choices for Council District person will be different. So if you were in Council District 7 and you're going to go to Council District 5, now Ms. Young and whoever is going to be competing against her will be on your ballot, as opposed to whoever can try to replace Mr. Vieira and them. So another question that people say, why are we using 2023 population? Specifically, what's the reason we're 2026? First of all, we gotta use census data. So we always a bit behind because of the way that they deliver the data. They deliver in December, and we need to start September, October. We actually were late starting because we needed to wait until the election for Council District 5 kind of play itself out. So we needed to wait for that. At least, became more defined, because there were too many candidates, and we needed to make sure that, that we were not proposing anybody that was running out of the Council District 5. So we needed to be careful with that. So we had to use 2023 American Community Survey. That's a census product. And back when 2022, we used Census 2020 data. So we usually like a 2-year behind, if you will. But again, that's why when we do it so often, it helps that to keep it current. The next thing, so the range currently is 8%, 8.36%. That is got the most populous Council District 7, that's the northern, and the Council District 5, which is the least populous, are 8% apart. That's all it means. Any questions so far? So this is just for those of you that may or may not be familiar with the boundaries of the current council district. So we start at the bottom with Council District 4. It's mostly South Tampa. Then we move north into the east, and that will be Council District 5, which is mainly East Tampa there. And then if we go west towards the airport, and West Shore, then we find ourselves in Council District 6, which is west. So and then if you start going north to the University in New Tampa, that will be Council District 7. Now there are 3 other council districts, but they are citywide. So 1, 2, and 3 are citywide districts. So we don't they don't bother with this. So only 4, 5, 6, and 7 have a territory assigned to the council district. So this is the breakdown that we have, of the, notice that every alternative here, too many numbers, if you will, but the numbers to really think about are the fact that every alternative has a less than 5%, which is our goal. So we are here 8.36%, and we're gonna lower that through moving precincts. We lower that to 1.93, less than 5% for every alternative. Any questions? Now, alternative 1 has 3 precincts: 151, 169, and 342. 151 goes from Council District 6 to Council District 4. 169, and I'm going to show you a map in a minute, goes from Council District 5 to Council District 6. And 342 will go from Council District 7 to Council District 5. Now, this alternative moves 3 precincts and has one of the attributes is it has the lowest difference of 1.9%. So it's very attractive in terms of selection because of the 1.9%. Nonetheless, we go back a bit. We have been informed through the public interaction, that's what we have also told our commissioners that a lot of members of the public would not like to see Blake High School and Beulah Baptist to abandon or be moved from Council District 5. They would like to remain in Council District 5. It's something that's been there for a long time. Now, so that's something that we are sensitive to, and we're going to be taking that into consideration as we propose our staff recommendation. So that is one thing. But again, somebody will have to move, just letting you know. Somebody will have to move, and you will see in the alternatives that somebody else has other things they don't like. So everybody has something they don't like, and that's typically what happens in this kind of exercise. Any questions? So this is the map right here. So 151 is something that we've been meaning to fix for a while. It looks like it's like kind of joining out Council District 6 over there at the bottom. We like to fix it, so that's one of the attributes of that. We like to fix that. Has the lowest range, so that's why alternative 1 is a better alternative. So this is what the city looks like. When you zoom out. Alternative 2. One of the attributes of alternative 2 is that it's a single precinct that moves 345. So 345 again comes from Council District 7 to Council District 5. So from the most populous, again, the USF area in New Tampa, according to census data, comes to the least populous, which is East Tampa, Council District 5. And that is again precinct 345. So the trade-offs here. So you only move one precinct, then you have your difference at 3.97. So it's a little high, but it's still less than 5. So it's valid for us. So one thing, you less movement, but then you have a higher difference, which follows. So this is what it looks like in the map. So that is only one precinct moves, and that's it. It's what it looks like when you zoom. Alternative 3. Is another one that is only 3 precincts. So 249 and 250. That is moving from Council District 7 to Council District 6. So they come from 7 north going down to 6, which is to East Tampa from north. USF New Tampa to West Tampa there, and 320. Is another precinct that moves into Council District 5 because again it's according to census the least popular, so it needs to be supplemented. So that's the movement there. It has an acceptable range 3.78, perfect below 5. The reason why we have to move 2 precincts 250 and 249 is because Forest Hills neighborhood, we want to keep them intact, so they either gotta move together or leave them where they are together. Otherwise, it becomes odd. Especially 250 is oddly shaped because that's where the city boundary is. It's one of those things. So we need to either move 249 to 250 together. This is what it looks like when you zoom out. Lastly, is the alternative 4, which again 3 precincts. 345 from alternative 2 that we've seen. Remember, we saw that in alternative 2 makes another appearance here. And you have 141 and 207. 141 goes from 6, so West Tampa to 4, which is South Tampa. And 207 goes from Council District 5 to Council District 6. So again, this is another. Every time we've mentioned an alternative where Council District 5 loses a precinct, people do not like that alternative. So again, that's something that we also made aware our planning commissioners to consider that in their decision. The second lowest range at 1.95%. So again, it's looking good. And this is what it looks like close up. And this is what it looks like, like when you zoom out. This is part of our comprehensive outreach strategy. Again, we send letters to stakeholders, emails to thousands of voters. Sometimes a couple of times we've emailed them. No, this is already started. These are the venues. So people that are involved, that whose ballot may change, are the people that we try to email. So that's what. And so again, when you take that into account, we have had a successful participation. We've been in the news. We've been all over. Again, for 80 people in our open houses, 80 completed preference forms of survey. So this is what the rankings look like in the preference form. So the table, the gray table there shows this table here, shows the actual votes, and this table shows us how we weighted them. So when you rank something 1, it gets a 4. When you rank something 4, it gets a 1. It's a fairly simple, straightforward. So alternative 2, which is the simplest alternative, where you move one precinct 345 from 7, Council District 7 to Council District 5, is the one that's leading here. But again, it's not a popularity contest. This is not an election. This is just input from the people, and we have forwarded that to the commissioners. And we will take that into account when we make our staff recommendation. We have a couple virtual open houses. This is the one that today, and then we have one on February the 23rd. Same form. And again, these are the key dates that we have still. March 9th is the final hearing. We had one speaker from Sulphur Springs that came out and expressed her support for Alternative 2. So, you know, this is kind of becoming loud that Alternative 2 is the one that people would like to see in this round. So again, this is something that we will take into consideration. And we will have, you know, by March 9th, you will see what staff will be recommending, because, you know, the commission will vote either the staff recommendation or against the staff recommendation. So that's it. But yeah, at least you will see what we have when we're recommending, and that will be available sometime, you know, like the last week of February. You'll be able to go online and see what we've recommended before the meeting. That way you can, if you want to email the commissioners, you can do that. And this is for those of you that are, you're already here, so you kind of know about the project page and the QR codes and all that. So that's interesting. So any questions at this point?
Yeah, so my name is Michael Randolph, and I'm coming out of West Tampa. One of the major concerns in West Tampa is whether or not the Black population will be divided. We're really concerned about that. And that's one of our major concerns. The other thing is that in West Tampa, we have ongoing development that's going to increase the vote. Does that take into consideration, or only the current numbers are going to be taken into the consideration?
Only the current numbers. So 2023, and that's the data that's available in this data we use. But thank you for your question, Mr. Randolph. Have you had a chance to vote, to rank? Have you and people that you know had a chance to rank your vote? Do you have express preference that you want to state in this meeting?
No, first of all, I want to thank you for giving the meeting again. And this is the first time that I'm able to look at the maps. I'm really impressed with your presentation. I'm going to be sharing this all over the internet so people can engage and decide which of these that should be done. I just appreciate the opportunity to jump on, get the information, and share it with the community as a whole. How does people vote on this? Can they go to your site and vote, or how does that happen, so I can inform the community on how to participate? Thank you.
Can you see my screen there with my browser? So this is like the website. Can you see the website in your screen, sir?
I can.
Perfect. So you would, if you once you go into our Tampa Redistricting 2026, or you can just type Tampa Redistrict, or you can just copy this URL. I can put it over here in the chat for everybody. Once you go here, you will say get involved. So you will complete a survey here. So this is the English version here, survey form. You click on here, and it takes you here, and here you will rank. You know, you can rank and, you know, say, I want this lower, I want this higher. I want, you know, like let's say I want to get this one all the way up. Let's say like alternative 4, and I want to make it 1. So I hit here, and it can be done on the phone as well. If I want to, and what you do is ranking, because it's not a vote, it's not an election, it's a ranking of choices. And that's why we have to wait. If you say this is too much, this is way too much for me, you have my contact information here. Boom, you hit that. And you can email me and say, my preference is this one. Thank you. That's it. Or you can call me at that number and let him know as well. You don't have to do that now. But that's my email. That's my number. You can call me directly and say, you know, Mr. Gonzalez, my preference is this one. You know, just send me a quick email, and that should also suffice. You know, if you don't want to go through that. So that is, you know, but we know we do, you know, So when you tell me what I'm gonna do is gonna put in a number for you on that. I'm gonna I'm gonna rank one of the choices as the number one and go from there. Because this is only transparent in case you charts and stuff like that. So that's what happens. So again, you go to the main site, which is complete survey online, survey form. We need your input. Boom. You click on that and it takes you there. If you say too much, I don't want to deal with that, you come over here and you just email me, say, Mr. Gonzalez, this is what happened. And you can distribute my email widely and say, email this person with your preference of all these choices. And I'll be happy to tabulate that. That's fine. The survey of the preference form will be open through the 25th of February. So that gives you some time still to you and people that you know. So that helps. Any questions? Any other questions? Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
I do. My name is Reba Einman, and I know this is online. Have you been out in the community expressing this, like any type of community sessions with the different sides of the community?
Yes,
Just online?
We have open houses on the 13th of January, on the 15th of January. Those were all after work, 5 to 8 p.m. People could come in, actually see large format maps and talk about them. And touch the maps and ask me and staff question. We had one on the 20th and on the 27th. So we have definitely been doing that. We have also been to the advise the council members to send out email blasts that let us know that we were happy to talk to people, and talk to groups, talk to churches, whoever, so we have done that, yes.
So in those settings that you've been, I think you mentioned 3 days. What area that you targeted that you had those open house in?
We did. This is what. Okay, so listen. We had. We try and target the areas where the precincts were gonna move, because if your precinct is not moving, then you will have very little interest in participating. So we went to Forest Hills here. That will be Forest Hills Elementary. We went here to the Hannah Center. That will cover. We tried to get something near the 345 and 342 here, but we were not able to successfully get a venue there in the time frame that we needed the venue and for the hours. The venue could be there, but if they were not, if it needed to be 5 to 8 p.m., sometimes they don't have people that can work evenings, for example. So that's what happens. And we had also here in Blake High School, that were also very well attended. And lastly, we have one here down here in Jen Kamenis Library, Jen Kamenis the Plant Library. So again, we tried to be as close as we could to the precincts that were going to move, because everybody else, again, 95% of the people will not be affected. There's nothing for them to do.
Why? And I hate to say this, but most of the areas that you just said are mostly African American communities. Why is just those areas being affected?
Because we can only move like 20 precincts, and they gotta be in the boundary of the council districts. So that is why that area, it may appear to be to you, but those are all these precincts have a characteristic that is they are on the boundary of 2 council districts. They have to be at the boundary for you to move them. You cannot just go grab one like way out there and bring it. Like, you have to be at the boundary. So in all this area along the river, for example, along the river on 275, all that is fair game for move potentially.
Okay.
And then all the area, like where you see the 4 and 6 here combining, all that is about also fair game. Downtown also fair game. So all the people, and again, those tend to be areas where there's a fairly high concentration of African Americans in some cases. Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
No worries.
I have a question. Yes, Mike Randolph, West Tampa again. So we're going to be giving a meeting, bringing together all of the neighborhood groups from East, West, and Sulphur Springs for a virtual meeting. Would you be able to attend that meeting? Could we send you an invite in order to attend that meeting?
I would love to, yes.
Okay, thank you so much. Appreciate you.
You have my email on the website. Happy to attend. We do keep in mind the dates. Like if you wait for it to be in March, then we can talk about what happened. We cannot talk about what's going to happen. You see what I'm saying? Like, it's important to do it before March 9th.
Oh, I was saying it's going to be way before March.
Oh yeah, definitely, yes. Yeah, happy to do so. Happy to participate. And you can also let me know if there's anything aside from this that you like to know or that you like to discuss. This is just one version of the presentation. We can talk about, we can make it longer, shorter, however you like. So if you give me some pointers on that, I'll be happy to. But we talked about Good Trouble Tampa. We wanted to speak with as many people as we wanted to. And again, we just want to be mindful that most people are not going to be affected. Only those 20, that's those like prisons. There are like maybe 12 prisons that are moving out of 141 prisons. So that's something to keep in mind. Yes. Any other questions?
Thank you. This has been very, very informative. Appreciate you.
No worries. I appreciate John for coming in. I was like, they in the right place. So that's all I have. We're gonna be hanging out here, but I don't want to hold up anybody that needs to leave. But that is the extent of the program that we had. Just so in case you need to go back to lunch or go back to your work or go back to your regular scheduled life, it's fine. We're gonna be hanging out here maybe for an hour, through 2 p.m. Like we said. But again, if we see it tapering off, we probably just end early. We'll see.
Mr. Gonzalez.
Mr. Gonzalez, go ahead, please.
I just wanted to thank you for the maps. I think they're invaluable to the public, and those are great. And I appreciate all the work that you guys put into this. Have a great day.
No one, thank you. Thank you very much.
I echo those sentiments. I was just curious, is this presentation available to download online?
I believe we have a version there, but I can go ahead and send it to you. I can send it to
That'd
you.
be great. Yeah, that'd be amazing.
Let me put it in. Let me share it with real quick. Put it share in the right now in the chat. That way you can definitely. Anybody that wants to get a copy, there you go.
And how is the city treating you today?
I mean, work for the county, so yeah, the county.
Okay.
The one,
Good.
the pool side seems like is what is the 77? Like, is that coming in a 5 or something?
Okay, I see. That's good.
Now, another thing that we have to make is that let's say somebody wants to dig deeply here and want to see, like, for alternative, let's say alternative 3, let's say. And you want to dig deeply into this, you can, this is an interactive, this is available here on our site, on the propositive interactive version. You can, and it works on your phone and everything. And you can then click on a precinct, and it will give you everything you would like to know about the precinct, and probably more than you want to know. It will give you, like the population. It will give you race and ethnicity. It will give you different political affiliations. How many Democrats? How many Republicans? All that. So that's another thing that you can do if you want to make, if you want to dive. For those of you that are more inclined to dive deeply, and this is also, I can put the link in the chat too.
Please.
Yeah. So again, if you want to just dive deeply and see what's happening, this is something that's going to be available beyond the going to be available for a while, beyond the life of the project, because we know that there will be an election. We also know that people are always curious about precincts, and there's no place to find like this kind of information. So we're going to leave it up, for at least a year or so, or maybe six months to a year after the precinct. So that way it helps you be informed as a voter, see what's happening. Mm-hmm.
Very nice. Sounds like a great idea. Thank you again for your time today.
No worries. Thank you. Any other questions?
I want to thank you again from West Tampa. We have to leave. Thank you so much. The information is very valuable, and we're definitely going to share it with the community. Thanks again.
Look forward. Don't forget to invite me over. I love to get invited. So don't forget to invite me over. Yeah, I would love to talk to you people. Mm-hmm.
Thank you.